Hello and welcome back to MFAC Coaching. I am going to give you an update on my word of the year, which is growth, and what I've done with that word so far. And then I'm going to make a spread so I can start to track some of my growth in some different ways. So, yeah, hopefully you'll stick around. What you're looking at here is my vision board. I have this every year. My word, as I say, is growth. So my kind of phrase is to do it with a growth mindset. And this year has been a year of growth for me. You may remember that this was the first spread I created about growth, about my word of the year. These are Planet Darby stickers, and then I lettered growth. And yeah, I've just had, this was just my kind of vision for it. When I think of growth, I think of flowers. There's the growth we can see and the growth we can't. The flowers are the growth we can see. And so, let's see. Let's flip forward to this coming week. So what I'm going to do now is talk to you about what has changed in my life, where growth is occurring. And then I'm going to, and while I do that, essentially, I'm going to create a just spread with some stickers specifically from Doodleberry. There we go. I was like, I'm missing one. I picked these out. They're black and white. Those are really kind of simple and easy to use. This is the Scandinavian Deco set. And then the Boss Babe set, just because the colors already had some gray in them, and then they could. And when it comes to growth, just to talk with some numbers, I've had some good growth on my Instagram. Just kind of consistent every day, a few more people. And I've received that mainly, I think, from consistency in posting, which doesn't mean that I post every day, but I post most of the days. I've also had some really good luck or consistency in doing some growth events on Instagram. And my brain just literally stopped working, and now I can't think of anything. Okay. So anyway, yes, I've had some good growth on Instagram. I've had some growth on my YouTube channel. It's not growing as quickly as I would like. I'm not entirely sure how to do that. I was posting twice a week for a while. But that was becoming too much for my schedule, particularly with the growth that's happening on my Patreon. That's where the biggest growth is coming. Okay, before I continue talking about growth and Patreon, I have to figure out how I want to decorate this page. I want to start with some deco. These are not long enough to go this way all the way across, but they are just like almost, yeah, they're like good, but not quite to go this way either. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, how I want to decorate these. What type of spread do I want to make? I also have these cute Scandinavian ladies, which are a lot of fun, and these dogs and cats. This is the dog. Obviously, I like how I say dog and point to the cat. Say cat and point to the dog. That's just how my brain works. This one says slugs, snails, and puppy dog tails. So cute. I'm trying to decide if I want to try and make some little scenes with this. Maybe I do. Maybe on this side we'll have her like going to work, and on this side will be the work. All right. So I think I will use this. I'm trying to decide if I want to do like all three, just these middle ones, just this top. I'll just do this top one for now. I don't want to do the raindrops. I would do them this way, but that's not how they go. So let's do this grid one. Okay. Yeah, so my Patreon group is growing and I am loving that. There's probably no way that that line is not going to show through, which in some ways is fine. I don't mind that, but okay. Trying to get it straight as possible. Great, great, great. Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about growth in my Patreon group, which I do want to do. It is growing slowly but steadily. But before I do that, talk about that, the biggest change and growth that I have experienced recently is actually a change in my job. I have taken a new position with a new school. So for those of you who didn't know my day job, I was working as a director, a site director for Vincennes University and their military education program in San Diego, California. And it was a fantastic job, but it did not pay very well, and the responsibilities were of someone who would get paid at least twice, if not more, like 3 to 4 times what my pay was. And it was starting to take a toll on me emotionally to have that much kind of responsibility bearing down on me. And it was just really, really time for me to look into another career. And I call it a career because I am, I don't know, I'm just kind of a serial monogamist. So even with my career, I've been someone who tends to, join a company and stay with them for as long as I can. And I did that with Vincennes. I was with Vincennes for 11 years, and I am still with them in the sense that I am still teaching with them and for them. And I hope to continue to do that for a while. I absolutely love teaching. And so, okay, first of all, how fun is that? Like, I didn't even think about, like, because of the little curves, the wheels just fit perfectly. Okay, sorry. But yeah, so that's been a huge piece of growth for me, was to take that new job and to kind of recognize what was going on with me. Almost the moment that I was offered the new job, I realized just how much my old job was like weighing down on me physically. So yeah, it's been a very new thing to let that go. When you've been with a company for 11 years, you can imagine that that's a huge piece of your self definition was very much wrapped into that job. And not in a bad way per se, but in a way that it is definitely healthier for me to have said, let that go. I love the time that I gave them, and I'm very thankful for all of the opportunities that were presented and provided to me, but it's time. And I'm now working for the University of Maryland in their global campus. They are still working with military members. So my previous job was with military members, and this job is with military members. And that means a lot to me. I really respect those who are willing to give of their lives in that way and choose that career path. And so it's just really meaningful for me to get to continue with that population while hopefully getting to do a job that will just not weigh me down as much. So a huge piece of my growth was taking that step and making that change. And I won't say that that is necessarily easy, but it is super duper duper exciting. All right. So got some deco here. I didn't even see these. These are so cute. Okay. I want to put something over here to kind of indicate. Let's do this one. That is definitely going to shine through. Let's see if we can grab. There it is. Some white out. All right, let's white this out, and I cannot white out and talk at the same time. Just something I have learned through doing this channel that I'm not capable of doing. All right. There we go. That's going to be straight. It's straight-ish, I guess. Okay. Okay. I'm done. Just kidding. I keep wanting to say I'm done, not because I'm actually done, but because those are the only ideas I had with this set. So, let me... I'm going to use some of this deco now. Again, I think I'm going to stay away from the rain. The rain does not, I mean, I don't know. I keep saying that, but rain to me is a part of growth. And so I do like the idea of some of these raindrops. So, okay, but let's pull this off. So where was I? Okay, with growth, with that new, so I have a new job, and that is amazing. And it was super scary of a decision for me to make, because I had been with that company for 11 years, and that's just a long time. And it's so it has to be okay that was hard for me. And yeah, you know, and it is okay. But it was, yeah, it was a big decision for me to make, and I made it. And I'm 1 week into the new position, really enjoying the new position, really enjoying my new coworkers. No real surprise there, just because I kind of knew a lot of my coworkers before I got into it. But it's still exciting that it seems to be going so well already. Okay, so let's get back. Part of the reason I wanted to talk about the job, of course, is because taking that job allows me some time, hopefully, at least, to put towards my Patreon group, which is growing, which has been fabulous and fantastic. If you haven't checked out my Patreon group, I'll link it below. It's a group there where we do already talk about emotions, and, you know, working through them. So the idea is not that we can ever not have emotions. That's never my goal. My goal is to help people master having emotions so that you can experience them and still and never feel like you're being controlled by them. That's my ultimate goal. And it's super exciting how that is going. It's been going pretty well so far. And yeah, so I'm really excited to see that group grow. And in July, I'm going to add some new components to it, and it's going to come with a subscription service. And every month people will then get a box that will talk about one particular emotion for that week, or excuse me, that month. And it'll talk about that emotion in 7 different ways so you can understand more of where the emotions come from, or how your body responds to those emotions physically or like biologically, what our cognitive thoughts are, a bunch of different ways. And I'm just super duper excited about it. I don't know why, but this one, I decided she was kind of a working girl. So we're going to put her over here. A little bit of, like, love this bird on top. Just a little bit of fun. Okay. My Patreon is growing. I'm growing both, like, emotionally. My husband and I have been really gelling and kind of growing together as we make some financial decisions and deal with the decisions that occur from my new job. My new job did not come with a big pay raise, which is okay. It would have been nice, but that's not how that worked. But it did come with fewer responsibilities, which ideally will allow me, to focus more on things like the growth of my Patreon group. So you can see how this is all going. So the idea, of course, is also that I want to kind of track some of my growth. So I just want to make this kind of a journaling page where I can, track how my growth, what I'm seeing, where I'm seeing growth in my life, and then also where growth is occurring on my social media channels. Oh my gosh, guys, I really think that's pretty cute. Okay, let's add a little bit of some additional color over here. Put this one maybe down here. So a part of me wishes I had done a similar spread back in January so I could track like where things were. Although there's probably a way to do that and I just don't know what it is. Those are the key things that are going on with growth in my life. Ooh, that's too crooked for me. All right, let's try. I'm gonna lift this up and try again. Let's see. So some other places where I've experienced some growth is I had a goal of doing some PR teams this year, and I started with 2. I'm now on 3. And the first quarter has come and gone, which is why I'm doing this. And the first 2 stores that ever took a chance on me have kept me on. So I'll be on those teams for at least a little while longer. I assume another quarter, but we'll see. I'm sure, like, I reserve them the right to make those changes whenever they are ready and want to. But in the meantime, I am loving working with these 3 shops now. So Doodleberry is one of them. Man, why cannot I put a sticker down straight? That one, okay. It's like such a minor change, but okay. Oops, okay. And I do hope to continue doing PR for some different shops. And of course, I'm always finding other shops to buy stickers from. And I love that. So if anybody has some shops that they think I should shop at, let me know. I love finding new places too. whiteout was not quite accurately placed, but that's okay. Oh, come on. Where's my little sticker lifter? There we go. All right. If you don't have a sticker lifter, this is from Purdy Planner, and oh my gosh, it's a great little tool. So, tracking the growth and thinking about growth and not just numbers was really important to me. And so my goal is to come on here about quarterly, maybe create some different spreads. We'll see about that. And just share with you how growth, because that's my word of the year, how that is going. And of course, then I also encourage you to do the same. Tell me, do an update with your word of the year. Check in with it. How is it going? How is it impacting you? What is that meaning for you these days? And to check in just with your word of the year. I love that. I love that idea. So highly suggest that. And then, yeah, tell me below what your word of the year is, if that's still reaching, like, meaningful to you, or what it means. That would be, I would just really love to hear that. All right, I'm going to add the days of the week here at the top, covering what's already on there, but how fun is that? There's a time in the past when I never really covered the days and the numbers, but I'm really having fun with it. So there you go. More growth, or at least change. But I will say that one of the ways I was able to really think about making these changes is because of my word of the year. You know, when your word of the year is something like growth, it kind of pushes you to make some growth happen. And I did that intentionally at the beginning of the year, knowing that it might push me out of my comfort zone. But so far, so good. And there's a little bit of, teaching what I preach. So I do some life coaching, and life coaching is in a large part about embracing change, which is scary. But just because things are scary doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I don't think I said this. These pages are from her Disorganized Plans. You should check her out on Instagram. She is fabulous. Particularly if you are looking for inspiration for some cleaning, she is really, really helpful for that. All right, so now I've got this space here that seems a little too bare, but I think needs to be something black, like continuation of the black and white. So, or gray. I'm gonna put a little bit of that right there. And maybe just like that little deco right there. Okay. Yeah, that fills the page a bit better. Okay, I think that's done. So I'll be able to fill this out, talk about my growth. You're gonna be unsurprised that I find this to do, even though it's supposed to be a little lopsided. Find it too much so. If you don't know what this is Undo. It is a sticker remover that helps you lift stickers, but does not erase the stickiness or negate the stickiness. So it still stays sticky, doesn't harm your page, does have a very chemical smell. But if you are of a certain age and you remember what rubber cement used to smell like before they made it smell like skunk, you might just like the scent. Maybe won't. It's a personal thing. I really like it. Okay. I know, such a minor little change, but that makes me happy. All right. So it doesn't say growth anywhere on the page, which is kind of funny, but that is my spread where I'm gonna write down where my growth is in April, where my numbers are on my channels. I'll probably journal just a little bit about my new job and how scary it was to make that change, but how proud I am of making that change. And if you are looking at making any changes, if you're looking at growth in your life, let me know. We can certainly talk about that, and check out my Patreon group. If you have any questions, let me know. And of course, have a fabulous week. Next week's video should be a Silk and Sonder video. We'll see. It's a little early in the month. If not, it'll just be another playing with me while I wait to get my Silk and Sonder. So if you have any questions, let me know. And of course, again, thank you. Bye.